Watch out this Sunday because ICE, the American Immigration Enforcement, is going to cities near you, to go to the Walmarts, to the Targets, to check and see if you are a brown or black person. Because if you are brown or black, you could possibly be from Nigeria or Pakistan or Venezuela, even if you're an American citizen. In fact, I actually saw a white woman. She was a nurse in a parking lot and they cuffed her. I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah,
they cuffed her and she was like, I'm an American. And I was like, she definitely looks and sounds American, but ICE did not care.
Yeah, they do not care now, guys. Like, this is something very, very like you can't put words to it, because it's like it's happening. This is happening right now. Like, they are putting checkpoints up at grocery stores where people need to go shop. They are putting checkpoints up at airports. They are telling people on the news, saying, make sure you carry your documents, your original documents, your original birth certificate. Make sure you remember your social security number. You know, your original social security number.
Make sure you know your fourth grade grandma's name.
Yeah, like for real. Like,
it's
getting crazy. Like there's white people that's being stopped. There's black people that's being stopped. And even if they giving them the ID saying, I'm an American, can't you just hear my accent? I'm not no. They still stopping them. They still pulling up. Like we yesterday, yesterday we was watching some videos about this, and it's really getting crazy. And people are protesting. Now they're talking about the Black Panthers are starting to step up to protect people that protest.
Well, you know what they were saying about them? It's a psyop. That's not the real Black Panther Party, because the real Black Panthers, if you studied them, they're nothing like that. The Black Panthers don't go out and support all Americans. It's a psyop funded potentially by the government or by Democratic parties that want our community to get involved and to protest in the streets. And, our folks, our nation's vibe for the whole past 2 years has been stay at home and don't get into it, because they're trying to bait you out to get you in the street, to get you in some of these, what was that thing that Trump had built in, was it Florida?
Oh, the not alligator.
What was that thing called?
Comment below if y'all know.
It starts with the A. Was it Alcatraz?
I think so, yeah.
Was it Alcatraz?
Yeah, let's just go with that, yeah. Yeah, comment below and let us know.
In these internment camps. And it's looking a lot like World War II and the Holocaust. It looks like Holocaust 2026, where you had to put a stamp right here and say, I am so-and-so from America, from Columbus, Ohio, this zip code, ... My great-grandmother was Billie Jean Blue, blah, blah, whatever. And have these stamps to tell you who you are. Because obviously this is not something new. There is no new thing under the sun. But unfortunately, you are getting the 2026 modern version of what happened during the Holocaust and the whole world at that time. That happened and the world went into a world war, right? But the whole world at that time looked at Germany like, what on earth is wrong with you? Why would you be doing that to people? So that's what people are going to start looking at the United States and saying, what on the planet? And if you are in the U.S. and you are planning on being an expat, you might want to expat yourself out in the next couple of weeks. Because, 2026, they're going to lock the borders, lock the folks down. You won't be getting out, but it's okay. You can get out and still sell your house with your power of attorney, or keep your house and rent it out. There are things legally that you can put in place that we discuss during the Mature Adult Intensive. Check out the link in the description, or go to www.journeywithusmovetoafrica.com for cohort 5. There are 3 slots left available, 4 in total, but 1 is already taken. This is the type of thing that you can prepare, because the best preparation happens before you leave America, so that you can stay out of America for the long term.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, like long-term residency, because we hear things with citizenship, right? If you have dual citizenship, they're talking about you're going to have to choose. I know that the law didn't pass or the bill didn't pass yet, but they are saying this now. that they are really saying certain things, and you got to pay attention to it. Especially what's happening with this ICE. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're really pulling people out of cars. You know, we saw a video of the guy, he was having a seizure with a child in his hand, and they did not care. Like, these people really are wicked. Like, you got to think about, like, how, like, I don't know what they get paid. I don't know what.
$55,000 a year?
It's crazy to me. Like, this tells you, like, those are really, really wicked people. And you got to be careful. You really got to be armored. The word of the Most High, his armor has to be with you. Because, like, for us, we're not in America. All we can see is the videos. So I'm not sure how you feel like going outside and seeing this, like, in real time, just looking at it like, whoa, like, it's happening. And you gotta be, look, you gotta move wise now. You really gotta move wise. This is not a game. They're really coming to stores to check people's ID, no matter if you're a citizen or not. Like,
better do DoorDash.
Yeah.
What's that other one?
Not
Instacart.
Not even.
They
Remember
can't
the
do
video?
Instacart.
Remember the video?
And order their groceries.
Oh, yeah, because
Order your groceries to your house. Use Instacart.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
thought you was talking about, like, yeah.
Yeah, don't go out. Look.
Yeah, just try it. Look, you gotta move wise. You gotta
Yeah.
move wise, because this is crazy. They don't care if you're an American citizen or not.
And you know what? President
checking
Donald Trump was floating around the idea. He did not exactly say when he would do it, but he says that option is on the table if he needs it for Minneapolis and other cities. The Insurrection Act. And if you're like, what the heck is the Insurrection Act? Well, hit the like button, share with 10 to 20 people, because I'm about to tell you. Now, according to my notes, the Insurrection Act is a U.S. federal law that allows the president to deploy the military or federalized National Guard against U.S. citizens inside the United States under specific circumstances. It is one of the most extreme domestic powers that exists. Here's a factual breakdown. The Insurrection Act suppresses insurrection or rebellion. And so if you're protesting, lots of people are going to continue protesting, like in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
If there's too many protests, it's like, hey, we can suppress this. Number two, they can enforce federal law, meaning when states do not oblige to the president, the feds can come in and say, it doesn't matter that you don't want us here. We just did the Insurrection Act. It doesn't matter if Florida doesn't agree, or Texas doesn't agree, or, Wyoming doesn't agree. We can come in because this is now the Insurrection Act. The federal law goes over the state laws, of course. Number three, their goal is to protect constitutional rights when state authorities fail to protect them. So they're like, hey, you states aren't really doing what you should do in Ohio, in New Jersey, and New York. We're going to come in now because we need federal occupancy. I think this is interesting because it's almost like turning the military against the citizens. And I wonder how effective this would be when you have other wars to fight for, like Greenland and Iran and Venezuela and potentially Mexico. So I wonder if they're going to do this, if they will be able to do all these things at once. But like you were saying earlier, France, for example, they've colonized so much of the earth, and it's seemingly like they're able to do it all at once. And so they may be able to handle doing everything at once the way that France for such a long time did to the earth, colonizing both West Africa, Vietnam, just places all over the earth. And so maybe America feels like they haven't had their time of true colonization, but they're not looking to colonize Africa. They want to colonize South America and Europe, and also their own citizens. Yeah. And so that's what it's looking like for the U.S. government. Now you may be thinking, well, when can this technically be invoked? I want to remind you that we are not really under a real constitution in the States. President Donald Trump does as he pleases. Just remember that. The NATO, they are on the brink of splitting up. This is unprecedented. Like, we're not in times where those old laws still apply. That stuff really doesn't apply anymore. And so you should be more concerned with when and if he's going to do it. Because if the protests get bad enough, he has told you already, that's a card that I can pull. And he said it openly on the news. Like, actually, the elder Bush president, he did that during the LA riots. He said it's actually something that has been done quite commonly in U.S. history. And we all know how America is. Or if you don't know by now, you definitely should. So, the president may invoke the Insurrection Act if they determine that a state government is unwilling to protect citizens' rights, whatever that means to President Donald Trump. Federal law cannot be enforced through normal means. ICE agents are now federal agents. Remember that. So if you are fighting ICE, if you are protecting your family against ICE, if you don't want to get thrown to the ground and you just kind of moving around a little bit against ICE, technically he can say, hey, that's the part where these normal means are not being enforced. We're going to bring in the military. And if you think the military was going to be nicer than ICE, I don't know what to tell you. Third, if there is domestic violence and unrest or rebellion that overwhelms local authorities, okay? This decision does not require approval from Congress or state senators. Let's make that clear. There is no prior approval that's needed. There's no vote in the House. There are certain powers that the United States president always has, whether it's Trump or somebody else, where they can invoke these things without any support.
That's deep. That's deep.
So once it's invoked, this is what life would look like. You're going to see the military walking down your sidewalk. Doesn't matter if you're in Ohio, Michigan, wherever. If it is federally invoked, you are going to see active military members patrolling your streets as if you live in Iraq. It's literally going to become like, oh, we're the American citizens of Iraq. This looks like the Iraq War at this rate. They're going to federalize the National Guard and authorize troops to perform law enforcement, like crowd control, arrests, obviously, infrastructure protection. And this is different from disaster assistance or National Guard support at the governor's request. This is direct federal command. Now, I want to bring out a few historical uses of this case, this Insurrection Act, that have already happened in American history. In fact, in 1957, during the desegregation era, when there were white and black schools, white and black fountains, things of that nature, they had called upon the Insurrection Act against Kansas because of those desegregation riots that were happening. 1960s, the civil rights movement. They like to make it look like now it's just this peaceful, like, yes, had a dream, and that's not what was happening. Our people were literally fighting in the streets, fighting against National Guard dogs and federalized officers. This was not just a fun time in society, getting hosed down on the streets, fighting the government for rights. Then in 1992, with the Los Angeles riots, and then in 2020, they considered it during the nationwide unrest, but it was not fully functional or invoked nationwide because most people accepted the jab. And, they were staying 6 feet apart, so they found out they didn't really need it.
Yeah, that's some good information. But I was watching a video from this veteran, and he was saying America is turning into a third world country because once you start to see the military, ICE starting to walk the streets and patrolling and checking people, that's how you know that you are in a third world country. So,
don't know what to say.
I really don't know what to say. Like, it's
crazy.
You gotta prepare. You gotta prepare. I know a lot of people deal with a lot of things, but this is a time. The time is now to really get out of America.
Yeah.
Because a lot of embassies are closing.
Yeah.
You have to choose the right country to go to.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they're gonna be looking at Americans sideways.
Yeah, especially if they're not doctored into the system. Obviously, if you have a 10-year visa to France, you may be secure. Obviously, if you've been in Panama and Panama was not on the list of countries that are banned from entering America, one of the only ones in South America that's technically still safe for Americans is Panama. But if you're getting out too late and you're doing things last minute and you're in the deliberation room and you're scanning your phone for 30 hours instead of packing your bags, purchasing an airplane ticket, getting your geopolitical strategy together, and we understand it can feel exhausting. It can feel like I can't take any more research. This is why we have the Mature Adult Intensive, www.journeywithusmovetoafrica.com/services. For those of you who want to have someone else execute some of these decisions for you with curriculum to accompany what your plan is for the next 5 to 10 years. Because you had better believe you're going to need a 5 to 10 year plan when you got your backpack, you got your suitcases, and you're ready to leave. And you had also better pack light. This is not the time to like try to ship your entire house out and try to do pack light. You're in unprecedented times. If you thought you were in normal times, I'm sorry to break it to you today on Sunday, January, whatever date it is. What's the date? 18th, Sunday, January 18th. I'd hate to break it to you. These are not normal times. Prepare now or you will be left behind. You will be in Nazi Germany 1930, but it's going to be modernized in 2026 with AI watching your every move in America.
Yeah. The time is now, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this information or listen to this information. I enjoyed it. You got to listen because the time is now. Leave your comments below, like the video, and we will talk to you in the next one.
Shalom, shalom.